Hey Scorpio, Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Welcome to your January 2020 love and romance reading. Cross watchers, I'm going to be including messages for you all as well. I know that some of you aren't very happy with me since I haven't been able to do the cross watcher videos because because of time and all that, but I'm gonna go ahead and condense here and include you all as well. So as messages come up for cross watcher, I'll share those too. Alrighty, Scorpio, I'm getting the number 10 as I'm going into your reading. So something's come to completion, some karmic cycle, some healing, some decision. Let's take a look here. I'm recording this the night of the wolf moon. That might be why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe some Scorpios are really in their feelings at this time. Let's see. So we have here, see, first and foremost, the first card kind of gives me a sense or a feeling of what the foundation may be for the month as we're going into the love energy, and you all have strength. Now, obviously, if we're going to look at this in terms of astrology, some of you may be dealing with a Leo. There may be some fire element in your chart somewhere that's being a factor, or you may be embodying the characteristics of this card. For me, when the Strength card comes up, Scorpio, and Cross Watcher, you need to listen to this. When the Strength card comes up for me in a reading, it's about vulnerability and going out into uncharted territory, doing something that is completely and totally outside of your comfort zone. Now, I did mention I'm recording this the day or the night of the full moon in Cancer, the wolf full moon, and this moon in particular is going to be kind of an emo full moon for a lot of people, where a lot of really deep emotions maybe come to the surface. And so Scorpio, those of you who are moon sensitive, my heart goes out to you. I'm an extremely moon sensitive Scorpio, so I know what it's like. It can be very intense, and this is an intense energy, so some of you might really be feeling super vulnerable, kicking January off. And, Crosswatcher, you need to know that if you're dealing with a Scorpio who seems to be distant or even short with you, if your Scorpio seems to be short with you or irritated or annoyed, they're processing a lot of really major emotions right now. And, when the Strength card comes up, to me, like I said, it's that vulnerability. So you might be preparing for a level of emotional intimacy that is new for you. And you may be kind of preparing to really let somebody into your heart or really into your life, whether it's really trying harder in an existing relationship or somebody new who's come in, or if you're single and you're beginning to open up to love energy. It's going to feel vulnerable, my darlings. It's going to feel very vulnerable. Okay, one of the messages with the Strength card is that you're going to be successful at this. This is one of the things in your life purpose, your life path that you came here to master. And you will be successful as long as you don't give up on the process and as long as you don't give up on yourself. Okay, and this is obviously a card that tells us we're going to catch more flies with honey than we are with vinegar. So Scorpio, if you are feeling a little short or really hurt by something someone in your life did, I know it's not fun. And, it might feel awkward, but it might be, well, not it might be. Spirit is telling you, what they do might even make you very angry. And it's okay to express that. But you need to allow yourself to be in the vulnerable energy of telling this person, you know what, when you did this, it really hurt my feelings. Scorpios are so strong. They're so strong, and they're seen as very badass. And, Scorpios have a tendency or a habit of, not always having their emotions on their sleeves. So, like, something will happen and we can go, and if we're going to cry about it, we can cry about it when we're alone. People don't tend to see Scorpios cry. But you might have to with somebody in January, or you might be coming into the energy to where you're embracing that more vulnerable side of you. And let me tell you why this is important, Scorpio. A lot of you are coming out of a cycle or a pattern of having to do everything on your own, having to do everything by yourself. And if you're going to attract the kind of partner or relationship where you're getting some emotional support and somebody's going to have your back, you can't do it without embracing vulnerability. Okay, so it's kind of like this, you know, if you can get over this initial hump of, you know, just being able to embrace that part of you, you're going to have a very rewarding relationship. But this might be the initial challenge for you in love and romance, Scorpio, is embracing that vulnerability. And cross-watcher, you need to keep this in mind, that if your Scorpio is opening up and telling you about something, you can't dismiss it. You can't dismiss it. You can't accuse it. You can't sweep it under the rug. That's going to pretty much guarantee that this Scorpio is not going to deal with you anymore, right? So if they're telling you something, hear it. Hear it. Like, take it seriously. You might see the Scorpio as very strong, and you might feel like, oh, well, they'll get over it, or they'll be okay. And they will. Scorpio will be okay. Scorpio will get over it. But if they feel like that's the way you're approaching it, they're not going to have you around much longer, my dears, okay? So keep this in mind. If some of you are dealing with a Scorpio that you kind of don't have contact with right now, and there's unfinished business, they are really working on themselves right now. Let's go on to the next card. We have Six of Wands. This is confirming what I just said. If you guys can deal with the initial discomfort of really being in your feelings like this and being in the vulnerability, it's going to fare very well for you. You know, you're going to come out of it feeling victorious. Scorpio, some of you have been feeling insecure because you've been dealing with someone that maybe has had a lot of options, a lot of like people competing for their attention, for, you know, her or his attention. And, you know, the Six of Wands is indicating like you're the one who's standing out. You're the one who's, you know, beating out the competition. Okay, so there's something about you. Oh, and one more thing I forgot to mention is when the major arcana cards come up, it also means that you're dealing with someone with whom you have a soul contract. Okay, so it could be that you have a soul contract with someone who's in your life in January or coming into your life the next couple of months, that's here to help you embrace your vulnerability and to not have to do everything by yourself. I think a lot of you Scorpios are coming out of this thing of like having to be the rescuer all the time or having to put out all the fires. And so you have a contract with this person that they're going to come in and they're going to have your back. Okay, so victory in this way, victory in like beating out the competition. Some of you might see this person and think like, wow, they would never go for me. But, you know, and you would have been okay with that, right? Like, you know, like, okay, well, they're not going to go for me, but I'm not going to cry over it. I'm going to live my life and I'm going to move on and I'm going to get in where I can get in. And you may have that, you know, view of it. However, I do feel, Scorpio, don't be surprised if you are the person that ends up, you know, I don't know if I want to say being chosen. I don't like that because it sounds like you're on the back burner and Scorpio is not on the back burner. Scorpio doesn't stay on anybody's back burner. But, you know, just to be in the energy of being able to feel like, okay, yeah, you know, this person sees what I'm bringing to the table. So, you know, don't be surprised if someone has a whole lot of attention and they end up going for you. I do feel that, Scorpio, that you're kind of being the one that's beating out the competition. If you've been having a hard time, cross-watcher, with problems or issues with the Scorpio, if you can take their feelings seriously, if you can allow for them to be vulnerable, then you all are going to be able to overcome the issues or the problems that you may have been having. So next here, we have Ace of Pentacles. This is important. This is really important for a couple of different reasons. Scorpio, if your financial situation has been holding you back from being able to date or being able to have a love life, maybe your work schedule or, you know, expenses or things that kept you from being able to socialize or focus on your life and your relationships, you can expect that is improving. Some of you may be meeting a significant soulmate through some kind of work situation. That might be happening for some of you. However, when the Ace of Pentacles comes up, the aces in general, anytime I see an ace, It tells me somebody's busting out of a very long-lasting block, sometimes even generational curses, as some people refer to them as. And so Ace of Pentacles tells me you're coming into a new energy. You're coming into a new energy, and you're becoming unblocked in terms of like energetically what you're calling in or what you're manifesting in your love life energetically. Okay, so maybe you've had like this really bad cycle in your love life of a particular kind of person you keep ending up with. Ace of Pentacles is saying you're breaking out of that pattern. You're not going to repeat that again. Now, keep in mind, I told you guys right off the bat, I felt the number 10. So this is confirming that. You know, if you have found that in your relationships, you feel like, oh, this person's just, you know, coming after me because they can tell I'm really independent, and they feel like, you know, I'm going to be the breadwinner in the situation. I'm going to take care of them financially. Or they know I'm really focused on my career, and they feel like it's giving them time to be able like to go around and cheat or whatever. Like if you have had this certain kind of person in your life, you're coming out of that. You're not going to be attracting that kind of energy anymore. You're attracting a new energy, a higher vibrational energy. So this is a shift. This is a game changer in terms of the kind of relationship or the kind of person that's going to be coming in. It's a completely different kind of person. I feel, Scorpio, for a lot of you, you are manifesting somebody with drive, ambition, and stable. Just someone who's stable, somebody who's already kind of found their footing. Okay, so cross watcher, if you're watching, this is kind of what Scorpio wants. Scorpio wants to see someone that has things that are important to them, who's working towards goals, who's like not gonna be dependent on them financially, or who's not gonna you know, like look for Scorpio like to buy their love or anything like that. They could just want to see somebody who has their own stuff, you know, and you know, maybe come in and work together and work towards goals together, but they just want to know that this isn't why the person is in their life. I think some Scorpios have a concern or a worry that they're being seen as like a financial kind of caretaker in some way. They don't want to be used in that way. Scorpio, if you have felt in the past that you've been stuck or trapped in relationships because you needed someone to be a breadwinner, or because of your financial situation, things may be happening in your financial situation in January where you're going to be able to really, you know, be in the right relationship for you, not because you don't have anywhere to go, or not because, you know, you need it like for survival, right? Like you're going to have your own stuff. You're going to have your independence. Let's go ahead and check out your next card. We have King of Pentacles. Okay, so obviously if we're looking in terms of astrology, this could be dealing with an earth sign person, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or somebody that has it in their moon or in their rising. And it could be you, Scorpio, if you have a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn moon or rising or Venus. It could be that this is your characteristics coming in. However, King of Pentacles for me is stability, long-term plans, security, and it also for me indicates offers coming in. Offers coming in. Some of the signs have had like this whirlwind energy coming in, and this doesn't feel whirlwind to me, Scorpio. This doesn't feel to me like something that's like gonna come in and move super fast. However, I do feel there's something coming in that like it's consistent, it's real deal, it's committed, and it's about moving towards the future. Some of you might be calling in a partner who is not in a hurry to get married. It could be you, Scorpio. Like maybe you're not in a hurry to get married, but you are looking for companionship, or they are looking for companionship, consistency, commitment. There is a desire to move forward towards, you know, having a home life together. I don't typically get this feeling from King of Pentacles because King of Pentacles is one of like my marriage cards. However, for some reason, I'm feeling with this energy or this card, this could be someone that like they want the relationship, they want the commitment, but they might have some concerns or some worries about marriage for financial reasons. Like maybe they've gotten taken to the cleaners in the past. Maybe they're divorced. They may have had like a bad experience. And so they might be wanting the commitment, but they might be wanting to keep assets and things like this separate. It could be you, Scorpio, you know, especially if you're coming into the Ace of Pentacles and you're coming into this financial blessing in January. It might be impacting your love life. You might be thinking to yourself that, you know what, I want to keep my finances separate, or, you know, I want somebody to, you know, come in and have their own thing, or I want to have a prenup, or I don't know if I want to get married because if I get divorced, then I might lose this stuff. So I do feel there's a financial concern here for Scorpio in your love life in January. Maybe concern is not the right word because I feel that something positive is happening for you financially, but that positive shift might be causing you to look at relationships differently. Another really strong message that comes to me with King of Pentacles is that this person who's coming in, you might kind of feel like, whoa, like, why are they interested in me? Or like, you know, once they get to know me, like they must be mistaken, you know. So you might just kind of see them, not that you're not worth it. I want to confirm that, Scorpio, not that you're not worth it, but you, and not like you know, you have a healthy self-esteem, you know that you deserve to be loved, but more so like you might think this person is very accomplished, or you might think this person is very different. Sagittarius kind of had a similar thing. You just might think you guys are very different. And you might think, oh, this person kind of has me. They're mistaken about how they're viewing me. And, you know, they're going to be like, oh, well, no, Scorpio, I thought you were something else. Never mind. No, this person sees a lot in you. And they want to be with you. Like, they have you figured out pretty good. The King of Pentacles is not someone who rushes into decisions and choices. He's not like an impulsive person. You know, he's not somebody who's going to make poor decisions. He's very successful because he makes good decisions. And so this energy is coming in like wanting to invest in you. They might even be seeing you as like they want to mentor you in some way. There may even be some kind of business aspect here. Okay, like you all might even be moving towards business together in the future. You know, they're seeing you as a worthwhile investment. This is where it gets kind of tricky, Scorpio. It's really funny, especially for those of you Scorpios where you have felt like, you know, you've had to be the breadwinner. You might be on the opposite end of that spectrum where you are attracting someone who's very financially stable, and they might be seeing you as a way of like mutually expanding wealth, right? They might be seeing you in a way that, oh, well, you have assets and you have skills, and they have assets and they have skills. And if you all came together, you might be able to bring in a lot more money and somehow. They might be looking more in terms of stability or finances in that way. It'll be a blessing for you. Like it'll be a beneficial for you financially. You're not getting used. You're not getting taken advantage of. This person's coming in and maybe kind of helping you expand on what you have. But at the same time, you know, there might not be a whole lot of like, say, we don't have any cups here, right? We don't have like Ace of Cups or Ten of Cups. So it might be more of like, you know, physical necessities and physical needs. There may not be a whole lot of romance. Now, some of you might be okay with that, and some of you are like, oh, heck no, I want the romance. If that's the case, this is your opportunity to take time and manifest that, to call that in, to specify that that's something that you're wanting in the relationship. But I think some of you Scorpios have been so concerned about not being taken advantage of financially or not being with a broke person that you're manifesting someone where it's mostly just physical comforts. There might not be a whole lot of passion, okay? I'm not saying you can't be satisfied physically with the person or that there's not going to be physical attraction, but it might not be like a deeply, like emotionally, like super intimate thing. Again, it's a general reading. It's going to be different for different ones of you. Oh my goodness. Now our next card here is we have King of Wands. What did I just say? I just said that you've got this King of Pentacles here. Now we've got King of Wands. There's a decision that's going to be made. There's a decision that you're having to choose, okay? For some of you, it could be the same person. You could be dealing with somebody that's got moon and fire in their chart, and they're just kind of like two different people because of that. Like they might have two very different aspects or sides of them that are coming up. But I feel for the majority of you, you're having to make a choice or a decision between two people. And one is coming in with impulsiveness and passion and fire energy, and one is coming in with stability and long-term plans. The King of Wands for me is different than the Knight of Wands, because for me the King of Wands, even though it could be more of a you know, sexually based relationship, it's still someone that a lot of the times it is an ongoing relationship. You know, Knight of Wands comes and goes. Knight of Wands, they're not here for a long time. They're here for a good time. King of Wands will stick around. King of Wands, there could be consistency. There could be commitment. There could be a relationship. However, it's, you know, it's this energy of, you know, more kind of in the moment, in the here and now, very independent, you know, very busy with projects and creativity and business. And so it may be more of like you don't get to see each other as much, and you know, you're busy with your stuff, they're busy with their stuff, but there's like this lover, companion, confidant kind of energy. But it could be more kind of, you know, physically based in a sexual way. King of Pentacles, I said, is like one of my marriage cards. And it's funny because King of Wands for me is kind of like a Sancho card, or like, you know, the temptation, the person on the side. And so if you're married, your marriage might becoming stronger, but there may be a temptation coming in, and the universe is asking you to make a decision, or to choose, or to decide what it is that you're wanting to do. Some of you are having to choose between two options. I do feel that for some of you, this is someone from the past that's returning, that you might feel a strong kind of pull towards. Those of you that you have had a dry spell, Scorpio, if it has been tumbleweeds and crickets for you, get ready, because I really feel you're going to have more than one option in January or soon thereafter. And the universe is asking you to make a choice about what kind of a relationship you want. Cross watcher, if you're watching, understand and know that I feel Scorpio is going to have someone kind of coming in and pursuing them very persistently. Okay, if you're interested in a Scorpio where it looks like their relationship might be on the rocks, or you know, they're kind of looking to you know, get out of a certain relationship, you all might have a strong physical connection, you may have a strong passion, you may have a strong desire, but security is going to be important here, right? So if you're trying to if you're trying to get a Scorpio to leave another relationship, I don't think this is a relationship that they're going to be able to make in the near future. I think this is going to be something that they're going to have to decide over the next kind of couple of months or so. And it's a big decision to make, and they're having to choose between stability, foundation, and maybe like passion and chemistry and things like this. Scorpio, I'm going to be very honest with you. Some of you are just in this situation where I feel like you are choosing to do what's going to be best for you. And cross-watcher, you need to know that. You need to know that. I'm not saying that they don't care about you, but they're going to go into this decision from a logical way and not from an emotional way. So maybe in the past, Scorpio allowed their passion to lead them, or thought like below the belt, thought below the waistline. I think that's changing. So you're cross watcher, you're not going to be able to rely on attraction or chemistry or amazing sex like to win Scorpio over. I think like they're just wanting to know there's going to be security, there's going to be loyalty, there's going to be commitment, because that's the one thing about King of Pentacles. Whether or not you're married to King of Pentacles, King of Pentacles is going to be around. They're going to be around. You know where King of Pentacles is at. I just heard that song, Emily, what is it, Emily, I can't remember the last name. Is it Santi? You will find him next to me. And this could also be a feminine too. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to only be a man, but it made me think of that song. I'll have to like link it in the description of the video. But I think they're wanting consistency. Scorpio is not going to fall for looks. Scorpio is not going to fall just for the physical chemistry. Because even though the King of Pentacles might not be as passionate or as fiery as the King of Wands, they're going to take care of business. They're going to satisfy, right? So it's not like Scorpio is having to give that up entirely, right? It's going to be good enough, right? So if you're trying to pull Scorpio over through like seduction and maybe it's worked in the past, it's not going to work this time. Scorpio is not going to be seduced, right? They want the real deal. They want stability. They're thinking about retirement. They're thinking about assets. They're thinking they're looking at marriage in an old school way. Like if they're going to be married, it's going to be like the old school way where it's like, what are you acquiring and wealth and assets. And that's why like a lot of the times we see like the old like Jane Austen novels and things. And it's like, oh, you can't marry a woman below your means and all that kind of thing, because it wasn't about love necessarily. It was about like stability. Financial stability, assets, businesses, things like this. And I just feel Scorpio is, independent. They're getting their own stuff. They're not looking to be taken care of. They're coming into financial security, and they want to feel that in a relationship. They want to feel the other person is holding their own or has their own, or that they can maybe continue to build with a person. That's just the feeling and the vibe that I'm getting from the January reading. These are general readings, and as a Scorpio myself, there's definitely things in here that like for me make sense, but there's also some things that don't resonate with me, and I'm a Scorpio. So I would definitely say go ahead and look at your moon's video, your moon sign, your rising sign, your Venus, because for a lot of you, I think the different parts of the different videos are going to really kind of bring in a bigger picture here that's like, oh, okay, well, like, now it's really kind of coming together. Watch your 2020 forecast as well. Watch the weekly videos. Those might bring added, pieces to the puzzle as well. If you would like a private reading, go ahead and click on the Calendly link in the description of the video, and you can schedule a private reading with me there. But I thank you all so much for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and I'm wishing you a fabulous January, my darlings. Take care.